Hey everyone, welcome to Queerly Recommended, the podcast where we recommend queer books, films, TV shows, and more. I'm Tara Scott, and I review sapphic fiction at the Lesbian Review and Smart Bitches Trashy Books. And this week, I'm recommending a recently released sapphic romance novel.
And I'm Kris Bryant, a contemporary romance writer for Bold Strokes Books. And this week, I'm recommending a 2023 TV series on Amazon Prime.
Kris, it's been a couple weeks. What's been going on with you?
So I'm sick again.
No!
This is, now I have bronchitis. So I went from COVID to bronchitis, with a healthy month in between. And this will be my life, apparently. I'm at that age where I'm going to catch everything. I'm around small children. And yeah, so this is my new life.
Those small children are like little petri dishes.
They are. But you know what? They're so damn cute. I can't say no.
Did you have a small child cough in your mouth? It's nice that they do that directly sometimes.
Right. Or they touch you on your face and you're just like, I'm gonna catch it. But it was also the ice cream we shared. Same spoon. Like that happens.
Oh, yeah. I think you found it. I think you figured
it
out. Oh no.
Yeah. I was like, let's try some ice cream. And he's like, So, yep. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna be my life.
Babies are cute little germ magnets
Yes,
and distributors.
Right. But I'm going to be healthy by this weekend because here across the land, we are having the No Kings protest.
Or 2 days ago, if you're listening to this on Tuesday.
Yes. I'm so sorry. Yes. So this past weekend, I'm going to the protests because it's very important. Yeah.
Is this your first one?
No.
For the No Kings one, I mean.
No. Well, I said oh no, I've been to many. I've been to two. So I have
That's
signs
still
already.
Good.
Yeah. So I have signs. And so in Kansas City, they have one down on the plaza. It'll be a big one. There'll be thousands of people. And I'm like, But then where I live, like maybe 3 miles away, a lot of suburbias are putting them on too. It's huge. It's going to be massive.
Yeah.
And so there's one that's like 4 miles from my house. I'm like, that sounds easier. I mean, for me to stand for a long period of time right now does not sound appealing. So I'm hoping that by Saturday and after all of my medicines are over, that I'll feel better.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's really important. And it's been interesting to see, even from here, keeping track of some of the numbers, that there's just more and more and more people showing up to them and knowing that like the best ways to, what is it? Something like the most effective ways of overturning authoritarianism is through nonviolent, like widespread nonviolent protest. And so it might feel for some people like, well, it's just one day. What's the point? But it is this like building of a movement. And how many people are showing up to protests that have never done it in their life before?
Right. Like, I can't remember the last time I protested, well, I can actually. We did a LGBTQ protest for one of those schools.
I was going to say, I think I remember. Wasn't it something to do with trans kids?
Yep.
To support them.
So, I mean, I guess I do, but
yeah,
it wasn't a huge rally. It wasn't a huge protest, sadly, but it was also a smaller city, smaller town, not too far from me. Yeah. So it was one of those, well, we're going to do this, so let's go.
Well, I think it's one of those things that's still important, and especially for something like that, where there were like trans kids and their families who were there.
Right.
As many people who could be there, they knew that those people care about them in their community. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah. So I do it more. I don't remember having to protest when I was younger. I mean, there's always been issues here in the world. I understand that, but that affects us so greatly. Like, this is just like the worst administration ever. And so it's time to clean house with everything that's come to light. I mean, I can't understand why he's still in. Cannot figure it out.
I don't know enough to answer that one either. Enablers, lots of
I know, people getting paid off. It's like you are risking, this whole, like, I don't know, humanity. It's just like they don't care. It's in it for money. And it's so funny because I was having this argument with somebody, and I want to say it was somebody in our community, so I have to be careful. But there was an argument about people being scared to
Mm-hmm.
go against him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, sometimes you have to. Like you just have to. I mean, that's your
Mm-hmm.
job as a representative of the people. You just have to. You just don't get to take all the glory and all the money. You have to actually represent your people. And, anymore, by the time you're at that level, you're
Mm-hmm.
so far removed from the people, it doesn't even matter to you.
No, no, history is going to not remember a lot of people
Right.
kindly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed.
Well,
So
I think it's great that you're going.
thank you. Thank you. With that, it's pretty much news for my life, around my life. What about you? What's new with you?
Nothing.
Anything?
No, things are going along. It's while we're recording this, it is March break in Calgary.
Oh, March break.
I
Okay.
know, so it's fairly late. All my coworkers that are in other parts of the country, they had it last week, but for some reason it's this week. So yeah, I've
Hmm.
occasionally had a kid show up while I'm in a Zoom call. I
My
think the
goodness.
funniest one was I was like, why are you here? And it was like my lunch had been delivered. I think Neil was out running an errand or something like that. And the dogs were in there with me because I'd had a ham sandwich delivered and they're nothing
Of
if not
course.
beggars. And they're like, so ham for me? And I'm like, no, go away. You only showed up for the ham. Bit rude.
Right.
And then my kid kind of comes in and I said, hey, like why are you here? And they said, well, I was told to watch the dogs. I said, you don't have to watch them when they're in the office with me. Like, we're good. I got the dogs. So yeah, it'll be good when they go back to school next week.
Mm.
One fun thing that did happen over the last week was we had a power outage, which I know doesn't typically sound like a fun thing.
Wow.
So power went out. It was last Friday and it was a little after 11. And so we have a group text with our next door neighbors. Yep, their power out is out too. So it's not just our house. Okay. So Neil's checking the company's website and they're like, yeah, it's out in these 5 neighborhoods, our neighborhood included.
Great.
It'll be back online around 2. And so we were like, oh, well, all right then. And so Neil, our youngest, and I, we took Ember for a walk and she loved it. That was great. Just kind of a spontaneous out of nowhere. And then we crated the dogs and we packed the family up to go there's a gaming store where you can get all kinds of board games and like
Oh, cool.
card-based
Yeah.
games and
Hmm.
like any kind of tabletop gaming you can think of. They probably have it in their store. And we picked up some games
Nice.
for March break. And so actually after we record this episode, we will do another one. But there's one game in particular that was really fun. Um, and I'm typing to look for the name. I think it's called What's Wrong with You? I hope that's right. I don't know. We'll put the name of the actual game in the show notes. I think it's called something like What's Wrong with You? You can play it in a pair, or you can play with up to 4 people. But the idea is like you're given all these, there's cards and there's 4 items on them, like two things on one side, 2 things on the other side. And it's like just names of things. It could be, like sleeves, it could be tree, it could be anything. And then there's instruction cards. And so when you're playing in pairs, you're basically trying to get the other part of your pair to guess it. And
Mm.
so if there's a drawing prompt, like every prompt or every set of instructions, like you're going to draw this one, but there's always something weird. So I had to do one where it's like you have to draw whatever the word is and they have to guess it. And you have to do as many as you can within a time limit. But I had to draw with only circles.
Oh,
So I,
that's interesting. Yeah.
right? Or there's another one where you have to draw, but not on a table. So you have to like hold it in your lap or your hand or whatever it is to do it.
Hmm.
There were some where it was like you can act but not speak, and so sort of like charades,
Hmm.
but you have to have your back turned to the person. Or you can talk it
Sounds
out, but you have to have your tongue stuck out the whole time. So it's really sometimes it's kind of like especially if you're trying to get the other person to guess, it's like, come on, why this is so hard? Who came up with these bizarre prompts? But it was so fun and we
it
laughed
sounds so
so
much fun.
much.
Yeah.
We laughed so much playing this game. Our youngest chose it and it was such a good pick. So definitely, it's not a queer anything, but definitely recommend that as like an activity with friends or family or whatever because it was so much fun. So yeah, that's been our week. It's been pretty good.
Nice. Nice. But I will say this, like you and I have an extreme temperature difference going on right now.
Yeah. It's a little below freezing today. We're recording this on Wednesday, March 25th, and we got, I think, about a foot of snow. Poor Henry,
Right.
poor Henry Rollins was
Oh,
bouncing around the backyard, and there was like snow up to his chest. He was
aw.
covered.
Did he love it?
I think so until he came inside and he had these little snowballs all over his whole body.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. Yeah,
Hmm.
Whereas here in Kansas City, the high is 86 degrees. I'm looking for shorts,
Wild.
like they are packed away. And
Wild.
yeah, we're doing that crazy swing
Do
that
you
we
have the
get in
air
the
conditioner
springtime.
on?
No, I won't do it in March.
Fair.
That just seems like no. Like
Hmm.
we literally went from heat, like I don't want
Hmm.
to go from heat to air like in the same day.
Mm-mm.
Not even in the same week.
Mm-mm.
Give me 3 weeks where I can open the windows and just enjoy the breeze, the nice, cooler,
Right?
not super hot temperatures. Yeah. It's extreme. The swings here are extreme on the jet stream.
Yeah. Yep.
Very much so.
We've had some nice spring-like weather so far, but
Mm,
we don't get, and to be fair, this is pretty normal for Calgary. We don't really get April showers. We get snow showers. We get
mm.
spring snow showers here.
Interesting.
The ground needs it regardless, so that's fine. But as soon as I thought of it that way, I was like, oh, okay, I can stop being so bummed about it snowing so much. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but
Yeah.
whatever. That's how we get it.
Yeah, I would just hibernate. If I lived in
Mm,
Canada, this is a true story. I would.
hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. You can retire and hibernate up here
Yes.
later someday. All right, Kris, what have you been watching recently? Because I'm guessing if you've been so sick, you probably have not been reading the
Right.
most.
Because I was on the couch for 5 days,
Hmm.
I decided I needed to watch something that would take a very long time to get through.
Okay.
So I decided to watch Game of Thrones again.
Oh, like the original series, not one of the
Yes, the
spin-offs.
original
Okay.
series. Yes, it has been 7 years since the final episode aired.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, well, I'll just watch it again. And there were two things that came to light.
What's that?
One was I forgot a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you
This
do
is
watch a
true.
lot of TV.
And it rings differently now because of the Epstein files.
Tell me more.
So, I mean, we all know, like in history books, you'd hear about, oh, the king or the queen got married at age 9. And
Hmm.
like the whole show is just basically about like rape, young
Hmm.
women. Like
Hmm.
it's like the whole show. I mean,
Hmm.
I was super aware of it, super hypersensitive to it.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard series. It's a very good series, sadly, but if you take all that out, it's a great series. And I just didn't
Yeah.
realize how it's always been around. Like it has always been around. And
Hmm.
it's just like, God.
That was one of the things that was really annoying about some of the justifications for like there being so much in there and George R. R. Martin saying, well, there's a lot of rape in history. And it's like, okay, but there's dragons. Can we dream? If we can dream of a world
Right.
with dragons and
Exactly.
ice giants, can we dream of a world where we don't have sexual assault
Right.
on
And it
screen?
was just, and the whole time you're just yeah, it was
Hmm.
hard.
Did you watch all of it?
I am like in season 4, the
Hmm.
almost towards the
Hmm.
end of season 4. I
Hmm.
looked at Deb and I'm like, look, I just want to watch Arya Stark. I want to see Jon Snow. And
Hmm.
there was 3 things that I wanted to see. And I can't remember what the third one was, but like everything else. Oh, Daenerys. Hello.
Hmm.
Like for sure. Khaleesi. I wanted to see that, how
Yeah.
she came about and that kind of stuff. But it was like every single woman in that feared rape. Every single woman. Every single child. Like it was just
Yeah.
like this is so hard.
Hmm.
Because like now it's gonna be everywhere. I'm gonna notice it more. A lot of the movies I've seen in the past, they're gonna hit me
Hmm.
differently. And I was surprised by how differently it hit me watching it again.
That's interesting and it makes a ton of sense. I mean, I will say that the way I went from being easily able to read workplace romances with like a boss and an employee
Hmm.
before and after Me Too, it was like a switch flipped. Like
Yeah.
really seeing the discussions about I mean, it was mostly about these like terrible men who were doing terrible things to women, but also
Mhm.
realizing like, oh, when there's that big of a power imbalance, and I'll still read it sometimes, but it's mostly because I want to see how do they handle that aspect of
Right.
it?
Yeah.
How do they deal with it? What do they do to make it okay? And even then, it's not even just boss employee stuff. It's kind of anywhere where there's like a real ethical this isn't right, whether it's like a lawyer, like tempting Olivia. Olivia
Right.
is the divorce attorney for Kate. I haven't read it. Harper Bliss has a new one where it's like a patient and a therapist, and I don't know about that one.
Mm.
I don't know if I can read that one. That one feels too far
Yeah.
out, and she's known for her like writing about taboo subjects. And maybe she did do a good job with it because I've enjoyed many of her other ones that fell under that sort of like a taboo situation, which is usually like somebody falling for their best friend's mom or whatever. But
That's true.
but I don't know. It just feels like there's something different about therapists. So this is also like no shade at all to Harper Bliss. Like, write what you want, do your thing. That's awesome. And I've been like a huge fan of many, many,
Right.
many of her books. It's just one of those like, yeah, seeing some of these things play out does make it harder. It is interesting though, because I feel like I can see what you mean about the Epstein files changing how you look at because
Mhm.
I think what we saw through that is, and this is really mostly via the email. So these are the things that people were willing to say over email,
Mhm.
knowing that they could eventually end up in lawsuits or like in courtrooms or all that. So there's a lot not being said,
Mhm.
but that there was this like large scale coordinated effort
Right.
to shape the way the public views certain things. A huge part of why we ended up with the incel movement we see in there.
Mhm.
He was counseling people on the whole Me Too thing. Like it's wild to realize that so many of the beauty standards that you and I grew up with
Mhm.
were because of these people who really did just want to like little girls, that's what's attractive. And it's like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's
Let me
terrible.
age.
Like
Let me become the crone. As long as I can be employable, I don't
Right.
care about the
Right.
wrinkles on my face.
I don't either.
Mm-mm. Anyway, did you watch anything else?
Yes. So, because again, I'm on the couch forever. And
Yes.
so, I've talked about Extraction in the past, the series Extraction series. God, I can't
Hmm.
talk.
Hmm.
So I talked about Extraction in the past, and it's where family members, like there's like three family members, and one gets
Hmm.
dropped off in the woods, and they have to like survive. And so like the family members are in what's called headquarters, or I think that's what it's called. And so they have to play a social game to get their loved ones who are out in the woods, like food or like shelter, blanket, so they have to work together or against each other to get supplies to their loved one. It's weird. It's how it works.
Okay.
But you know how I am. I
It
love to
sounds intense.
pretend. It sounds intense, but it's really not. It's not that bad.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to say that if you're going to be on a show like this, at least spend one night in your backyard outside by yourself, you know, or hey, maybe even learn how to make a fire
Hmm.
with just like some wood and like rubbing sticks together and
Watch an episode of Alone.
exactly. I mean, learn a little bit before. I mean, these
Yeah.
people, they have probably never touched grass in their life. And so they
Hmm.
go out there and like after 2 days, they're done. Like people are like, pull me, extract me. I can't do this. Like, and it's only had 2 seasons, and both seasons have had people tap out like the first day. Like, did they make it 24 hours? I don't think so. So that's what I said. Like, if
Hmm.
you're gonna sign up for a show like this, even Survivor, like, sleep
Yeah.
outside. Just sleep outside. See what it's like. Can you handle it?
Yeah.
What if a
Yeah.
bug gets on you? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's always interesting though to see like people and they have bears. They're up in Canada. They're up in Canada somewhere.
I I don't
Yeah.
recommend that.
So yeah, I know. But
I
it's
may live in
beautiful.
Canada, but I do
But
not hang out with the bears.
so, but they have like those big loud horns, that you can blow, and it's like at sporting events, really loud.
Yes.
They have that, and that noise scares the bears. So this one bear had her two cubs, and they're like, this guy's sleeping like 10 feet from them. And and they're yelling like headquarters, they can't hear, but they're yelling at this guy, wake up, Doug, wake up. It's middle of the day. And so he like hears something and he kind of rolls over. He's like, oh my God. And he reaches for it and he like conk, conk, do that. And the bears run. They run immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have known that. Like when I was in Alaska, instead of like bear spray, let's do some loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
So
Next time you go
yeah.
to Alaska, now you
Yes,
can do
I
that.
will be an expert. I will have slept
Mm-hmm.
outside.
When you write book 2 set in Alaska.
Right. Oh, I do need to do that. I do.
I
I need to
kind
get
of
back into
think,
writing.
I mean, what if there was another book set in that area? People did
That
love
would
that
be
book a whole
cool.
lot.
I did like that book,
I
Breakthrough.
heard
It
it
was
was
great.
reviewed well
It
at
was reviewed well.
Linda
And
Literary. I don't know who did.
it it won an award. So, I mean, all the
Mhm.
books that you read of mine and review, they win awards.
And then I had to start a podcast with you, so I couldn't review
No,
your
I
books anymore.
know.
Sorry, Fred.
Ooh.
Cherish one, though. I didn't review that one. I love it.
That was a cute book.
I gotta
Yeah.
reread that book. This has turned into the Kris Bryant fangirl
Yay,
hour.
let's do it. I need some more of it. I need it because I need to get back into writing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure people, look at that. I'm so ego. Oh, I'm sure people miss my stuff, but I'm
I'm
sure
sure
that there
people
are
do.
people are like, when are you going to write again? Yeah, especially my boss. When are you going to send it a book? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When the world stops imploding and like,
Yeah. I mean, there are still some people who are putting out books for
oh,
sure,
for
but it is
sure. Yeah.
also interesting to see. I did a big thing. Actually, here's what I could have said in my update. I went into my Kindle account and I cleared out like 700 or 800 files,
Wow.
including even like there were a whole shit ton of Harlequins that I bought like over a decade ago, back before I discovered sapphic fiction. It's like, I'm
Wow.
never going to read these again. And like my Kindle was just chugging. It was acting weird. I think I'd had too much stuff downloaded. And like, as I was checking, like I was clearing things out and I was also had to clear out duplicates because clearly sometimes I would send myself the same review file, like, because as a reviewer, I often get free copies in exchange for an honest review. But there were times where I must have forgotten I'd already sent it to myself and I would just send it again. And I was like, let's get rid of the duplicates. And
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
some of the authors who used to do a lot of books that
Hmm.
aren't public, that haven't published in years, like Nell Stark,
Yeah.
she was
No.
awesome and did a ton of them. Jove Bell, haven't seen her in the community in a long time.
Heather Blackmore.
Yep. Ray Magden,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was
Right.
interesting to see some of the like it was almost this like the little time capsule of
Oh.
sapphic fiction that I have in my Kindle account that's like it's really special and I love it a lot. So
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
there are like we talked about this in Gulfport on one of the panels. People were talking about how like I personally can't write right now because, like I said, everything's imploding. It's just too much for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
there's just too much for me. I can't be creative. And there are some people on the panel that are like, I have to be creative right now. I have to
Mm-hmm.
let people know that they're still, you know, we're still here. Our stories are important. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it was almost said in a way that made me feel bad about my choice. Like I cannot produce good stuff right now. I mean, I'm still a member. I still love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a part of all of us. And I'm crawling out of this hole and it is a slow crawl, but I will get there because there's too much in my head that I need to get out. But
Yeah.
it's just going to take time.
I think it's a tough one because I mean, there's so much information all the time of like horrible things happening
Right.
in your country specifically. And it's not only happening in your country,
Sure.
there's bad things happening in every country. But
Right.
like that is kind of to go back to the whole No Kings protest thing. It's by design that your country's nervous systems are meant, like everybody's nervous system is meant to be on edge so that you're numb and so that
Right.
you can't do things like get together and protest. And it's a tough one because I don't think there is a right or wrong reason. And I understand the like wanting, like feeling like we need to continue to show up, especially for our little sapphic fiction community. I
Right.
mean, I've talked to people here and there about how I've been writing a lot fewer reviews in the last several years, but also, like I was talking to Neil about it the other day, and it's hard because a part of me feels like, oh, I should try to do more because it's the thing I can do right now to help support our
Right.
community. And it's also like, okay, when and how? It's not fun. Talking about
Right.
books right now is still really fun, which is why I love that we still do this podcast because I am giving audio reviews of books every 2 weeks, and that's still important and it's still
Right.
meaningful. But I mean, how many books have you written now? You say in the intro over 20, it's probably over 25 at this point.
I think it's 24 books. I mean, there's
Yeah,
short stories and novellas, but like if
yeah,
I'm new to you, I have a big backlist. And hopefully
absolutely.
that will keep you busy until I can finally produce something new. And
Well, and I'm
everybody who
trying,
knows me will
yeah,
know that that they'll wait. They'll
I'm
wait,
trying to
hopefully.
remind myself that I've probably across, like at the beginning of every episode, I say that I review at the Lesbian Review and Smart Bitches Trashy Books. I also was a staff reviewer at Curve Magazine before and at Lambda Literary. And across all four publications, I've probably reviewed almost 1,000 books.
That's amazing.
So, like, it's okay if other
Yeah.
people want to step
Right.
up and do the written reviewing. I'm still committed to talking about
Right.
books here. I will keep doing it until you get sick of talking to me about this stuff on this show.
I love it.
Oh my God. Do you still have something else that you've watched recently? We are going all over the
Well,
place, y'all.
we are.
My ADHD meds wore off hours and hours ago.
This might be a really long podcast.
Hmm.
The only thing I'm really excited about is the Bridgerton, the next season. Like they're just
Oh
starting
yeah.
to film it. I mean, but we have sapphic leads,
Hmm.
and I have
So
watched
exciting.
Bridgerton since the beginning. You know me, Bridgerton. I love it.
Yes, you
Like I love it
do.
so much. And then all of a sudden I was
Hmm.
like, oh. So there is something for everyone. And it was like people are getting there was somebody on Threads and they said something like, "Hey, I'm not homophobic, but I don't think I'm going to watch Bridgerton because I don't really want to watch women." Oh no, somebody said something about because there's a black woman I wanted to watch it, but then I found out that it's two women and I'm not homophobic, but I don't want to watch women kiss. And so, oh yeah, no.
Was it a woman who said
Everybody's
that?
yes, and everybody schooled her and like just dragged her. And it was because I was
Did
like,
she like
that is
heated rivalry?
homophobic. I don't know. Like I didn't get to know this person. It was just like I saw it and like and I should know better because my Threads family have
Hmm.
already covered this. But I went into the
Hmm.
comments because I was ready to blow it up and like no, the family showed up and they like
Hmm.
boom, boom, boom. This is exactly what homophobia is. This is exactly like listen to yourself. Like and some people were nice about it. Like maybe she just doesn't know and we'll teach her. Like you can't say stuff like that because that's what it means.
Hmm.
But Bridgerton has queerness on every season. And
Hmm.
Benedict Bridgerton, which I just recommended not too long ago, like that whole season last season,
Yeah.
bisexual. Like he's
Hmm.
making out with a man at the very beginning, but he ends up, oh, shocker, he ends up with a woman at the end. Surprise, I just ruined it. But
That's fine. I'll forget.
exactly. But you kind of know that's what's going to happen. I mean, with every
Yeah.
Bridgerton kid, there's
Hmm.
going to be a love story,
Yeah.
and everybody knows ahead of time that this next season is between two women. I'm very excited.
Very exciting.
So that is, I mean, I've watched so much more, but that's just sums it up in a nutshell.
Hmm.
So, what about you, Tara? What have you been reading and watching or playing? You do so
All of it.
much.
All of it. It's
Yes.
all been happening. Okay,
Yay.
so RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World is over. It was a fabulous season.
Oh,
Highly
nice.
recommend for anybody who was interested in that. Also, RuPaul's Drag Race, the main US season, they're in season 18. Last week was the makeover episode. And I think I told you before, I
Oh,
love a
yeah.
makeover episode.
Right.
And I thought my favorites were when they got to make over their own family members because it's usually like a parent or a sibling, and especially when it's the parents. And
Oh, I
in the
love
more
that.
recent seasons, how they're like, I've always been supportive of my child. These like beautiful stories. No, this time they brought in cowboys from the gay rodeo, and it was fabulous. It was such a fun episode.
I
Even
love
if
it.
you only watch that one episode, it is so fun to see because that means they were only making up these men who were gay. In one case, they had a former drag queen, which was very interesting. And she talked about how she walked away from drag because she felt like she had lost connection with her. Maybe I should be talking about him with he, him pronouns. Usually when I talk about queens, it's with the she, her.
She,
But
her, right.
so he was talking about how he quit drag because he felt like he had lost connection with his masculine side and he wanted to refine that connection. And so there's like a whole storyline just around this person and what did it mean coming back and, walking the main stage and what did that mean for their journey? And it was really cool. And then there was another one who was talking about how he had been in the military and he had been in the military during Don't Ask, Don't Tell there. And he had a friend who had a girlfriend who is trans and he ended up being beaten to death in this
Oh my
how
God.
it was so sad and it really sat with him and how he's never felt like he could allow himself to connect with a feminine side, so being put into drag is this really beautiful, I mean, it's such a good episode and they have
Oh, it
great
sounds good.
chemistry
Yeah.
and it's so fun, it's so good. On my Nintendo, I did not finish Moonstone Island. I'm enjoying it very much, but for some reason, out of nowhere, I believe it was the power outage day. Well, the power was back at that point, but I was like, you know what? I picked up Final Fantasy Tactics over the holidays and I should start playing it. And that is a game from, I think, it's from the 1990s, but it's
Yeah, it
been
sounds.
remastered a couple
Ooh,
times. Mm-hmm. I think I played it for about an hour that night getting started, but it was the next day. And I was playing and I was like, oh no. And I texted one of my best friend from work because he's also played it. And I was like, oh, I think I fucked up picking up this game. I'm going to be in trouble. So that's been very fun. And the best thing about not
cool.
having the best memory is
Every 7 years.
I don't remember the story because I haven't played it in almost 20 years. It's great. I get to experience it all over again.
Nice.
Taylor Tomlinson has a new comedy special.
I
Have you seen
watched
it?
it. Yes.
Prodigal Daughter. Here's the thing.
Yes.
I would absolutely have it as an official recommendation, but I don't know how to review stand-up comedy.
Right.
And to be able to talk about it for more than 30 seconds, I really enjoyed it. Although it was interesting watching it with Neil. And it really does feel like she said, here's a show for all the religious trauma babies. Because there were a lot
Yes.
of jokes that I found hilarious.
Oh yeah, and that it was held in a church.
Yeah. Yeah, it was held in a church. And so our oldest was with us for part of it and ended up leaving because it was boring. And the reason it was boring for them is that they didn't know anything to do with the Bible, the church, how the church
Right.
works, any of that stuff. But because I was in it until my mid 30s, I was dying. There were some jokes that were so good. And it's not all just about religious trauma,
Right.
but I am saying if you have it, that's the
Very
show
good.
for
Yeah, we
you.
watched it too. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And then I finished a novel.
Oh.
The blurb, at the very bottom of the blurb on Amazon, because you know how sometimes they'll do a blurb and then there's a tagline of, this
Oh
is
yeah.
this is who it's for, right? And so the book is called Of Potions and Honey by Cara N. Delaney. And it says it's a cozy sapphic romantic fantasy for fans of the Spell Shop and Stardew Valley. I have no idea what the spell shop is, but I will say if you are a fan of Stardew Valley, there's a really good chance you're going to like this book. So Mira is the main character. She lives in a city. She receives a letter finding out that her uncle died and he left her his potion shop in the
Ooh.
small town of Emberglen. And she's
Ember.
like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try and make it work because she hates her day job. She works at what seems to be a department store or something like that. And so she's trying to okay, how can I make this work? She used to visit her uncle in the summers when she was a child. And so a kid that she used to play with, she bumps into him and they get to know each other all over again as friends. And she has a grumpy but attractive lady
Mm-hmm.
neighbor who
Ooh.
just happens to be growing a lot of the plants that she needs for
Ah.
her potions. at the same time, there's also, so the company that she used to work for, they've set up a small version of shop in town, and she's like, ugh, fuck those guys, they're the worst, down with capitalism. But like she's trying to make friends and all this, but there's sort of a bit of a mystery around Ember Glen. There's this spring out in the forest, and there's something special about its water. And it's something that, like, the water is just, it makes the honey so good. It means that, like, any of the plants in the area, there's just something special about this area, and it's all to do with this spring. But it's drying up.
No.
So what is happening? So yeah, I would say it was very cute. And when it says that it's like a cozy sapphic romantic fantasy, I would say it's heavier on the fantasy, lighter on the romance. There definitely is a romance there with her neighbor, whose name is Yoni, but it's more of like a B plot, if you will. Like it's more of a subplot thing than like this is not a romance novel. I would say this is a fantasy novel that has a romance to it. It really is mostly about Mira. She's trying to make that new life work out. She wants to be a potion maker. She doesn't know how to do it. She has this recipe book, but it's like, wait, I've never made a potion before. And so we kind of follow her through, messing up some batches and trying to find local suppliers. And so this is where I say, like, if you're into Stardew Valley and the little, like the day-to-day of growing the vegetables and talking to the neighbors and all that, you are going to love this book. I think it needed an extra chapter or two at the end is kind of my main complaint about it. It's sort of, it feels like there were certain things that could have been wrapped a little more. But also I got to the end and I was like, that was cute. All right. So like an epilogue might have helped this one. I know there's like epilogues in every book, and maybe we need to, as a literature community, talk about, does every book need an epilogue?
Yes. I mean, I learned that readers want epilogues.
Yeah.
Remember I got in trouble because I didn't read prologues? You were mad at me.
You didn't read a prologue? Why was I mad at you for that?
I don't know. It was a while ago when I confessed that. And everybody got mad at me.
So it wasn't our first fight in the last episode.
Oh. I mean, it was our first fight maybe like in a long time. Ooh. What?
I'm ready to start a fight. Well, not start a fight, but you're going to get mad at me. And I got to tell you anyway.
You read the ending.
No, here's the thing. Okay. No, here's the thing. I've noticed that I don't read the endings anymore.
Good.
Unless there's like really something that's triggering my internal fight or flight. If something is making me fight or flight,
you shouldn't be reading it.
Well, yeah, I could quit the book. But so I don't do that anymore. But what I do look for is, when does the first kiss happen?
Stop it. You know it's going to happen.
I want to know when.
That is being greedy. Go on the journey with the characters. I am shaking my head at you. I'm so disappointed. Just, ride it out. Just
I knew you would be. All right. How about to distract yourself, Kris, from your deep disappointment in me? How about you tell me what your official recommendation is?
Okay, so my official recommendation, thanks to Claire Ashton, with her Threads comment, is Deadlock Season 1. And Season 2 is out now, so I'm going there next. But I'm just specifically going to talk about Season 1.
Okay, let's go.
So this is a series that is on Amazon Prime. And I want to say you can see it on Apple too, but I watched it on Amazon. So I'm going to read the blurb, and then we'll get into it. On the eve of the Deadlock Winter Feastival, the body of local football/rugby, because football there is rugby, club coach Trent Latham is found on the beach. Sergeant Dulcie Collins takes charge, but Detective Eddie Redcliffe arrives to take over the investigation, causing friction. It's a whodunit series and keeps you guessing until the very end. So there is lots of queer rep in this series. Like the lead detective, Dulcie, she's a lesbian. She has a devoted, almost obsessively too sweet and too clingy wife named Kath.
Okay.
There's another sapphic couple and several gay men. And also it has a lot of positive women who are strong and heroes roar type moments. Like that happens throughout the whole series. So this series is absolutely hilarious. And it's not like slapstick American comedy. It's Australian. So the comedy, it's a different type of comedy and it hits you differently. So quirky. It's like, yes, very quirky and also very indirect. And it's one of those where
Mm-hmm.
it catches your mind still like kind of working through it. And as it's moving on and you start laughing
Mm-hmm.
because it's like it hits you a little bit later. And maybe I'm just not used to that humor yet, but it's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
The thing about this is there's a lot of character growth. And you know how I am about character growth and
Yes.
relationships and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Eddie is actually a female, a woman. Ed
Okay.
Redcliffe is a woman. Yeah. She comes in and she's very loud and crass and she's fuck this balls everything. She's tits out, like she
Uh-huh.
says everything all the time. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
Dulcie is very like classy, quiet, reserved, very
Mm-hmm.
tall. And here comes this little dark-haired, fiery woman, just like
Yeah.
knocks shit over, puts her feet up on everything, and
Mm-hmm.
and she has to take over the investigation. And Dulcie doesn't like it because the way she's treating everything is just like, oh, it was the brother. Oh, it was this person, just
Mm-hmm.
no evidence. Like, let's just arrest them. And Dulcie's like, we have to go through the proper channels to do this. You just can't like arrest people. That's not how it
Yeah.
works here. So there's this town, Deadlock, only has like 2,400 people. It's kind of a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in this town is terrible at everything. Like
Okay.
they're terrible at everything. So the constables who work with Dulcie are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sven, he's a great guy. He's hilarious in this show. He just doesn't give a fuck. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's something important. He's like, oh, by the way, you got a message. And oh yeah, the report's back on this. Like it is not his career choice. He made a decision and he hates his decision. So he just like reads magazines and clips things. And it's just funny because like Dulcie's like, I need the first murder in forever. And we're trying to
Yeah.
solve this. And I don't have any help. Like she has another constable, Abby. I mean, Eddie calls her Big Eyes because she's always like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
so her constables don't care until they do, till they realize, oh my gosh, I'm helping with something. And
Mm-hmm.
themselves have character growth too. So it's fun to see them go through the changes. And like Abby, she goes from this very timid person to gets a
Mm-hmm.
backbone. She starts standing up and asking questions and doing things on her own. And so it's very cool to watch all these characters grow. Like I said, the women shine, and most of the men are misogynistic. No surprise
Oh.
there. Like no surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Like the commissioner who has sent Eddie down to help Dulcie is like, you're doing a terrible job. How come we don't have a name yet? How come nobody's arrested? We're just going to come down there and we're going to take over because you're crappy at your job. And
Whoa.
so he comes down with a bunch of cops and they're like, step out of the way, Missies, we'll take over this. And you can tell he just yeah, it's terrible. And so the best thing is happening is that, you want Dulcie to speak up, like speak up against these people, say like I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
everything, and she just kind of lets it happen. But she's still doing her own investigation. Her and Eddie are starting to click better because before they were just like
Mm-hmm.
at odds. And they're clicking better, they're working better. And so they're solving everything. And you see all the cops, the men in the background, like just flub it up completely. Like they
Mm-hmm.
are running on wrong leads. Like they just like head first into everything without even giving it any thought. So it's hilarious to watch them fail.
Nice.
Like a couple of funny things happen throughout the whole entire series, and they're brilliant. I absolutely love this. So there's a bloodthirsty, face-eating seal named Kevin. So
Uh-huh.
he's really not like he's the town menace, but he's really just a big old misunderstood seal.
Aw.
Yeah. And
Poor
so
Kevin.
I know he's just so big and he's just a lug, and you just kind of want to jump on him and just hug him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's on the bridge, like there's a footbridge, and they're like, somebody come get Kevin off. How are we gonna don't feed him. If you feed him, he's gonna stick around. So this whole thing with
Yeah.
Kevin. And so he's very sweet. So he comes throughout the series, or the talk
Mm-hmm.
of Kevin throughout the series is really sweet. And then this is so funny. So do you remember that song, I Touch Myself? And I think it was by the
Mm-hmm.
Divinals. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So they have an a cappella singing group and Dulcie and her wife are in it, and they're singing this song, and it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
at this festival that's happening during this whole murder investigation. So
Incredible.
it's hilarious. It's just great. Like if you're stuck on the couch like I was, or even if you just want something, to watch at night, a couple hours here and there, like
Mm-hmm.
this, I think it's either 8 or 10 episodes, but
Yeah.
perfect. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The ending. is just hilarious. Like the last scene, I just laughed out loud. It's just such a good series. I'm like, thank you, Claire, for putting this out there on Threads and giving me something
Mm-hmm.
to actually recommend this week because it was very, very good.
Nice. Okay, I'm really glad to
Yeah.
hear it. We've talked about maybe watching that, so it sounds like we should push it up the list.
Right. Like the first, no, obviously not for kids. I'm
Yes.
telling you that now. But like Eddie's very not likable in the first couple of episodes because
Mm-hmm.
she's playing a game. She's trying to be this detective, this great detective. Hey, I've solved
Mm-hmm.
all these things and we're going to do it my way. But it's like, it's just a mechanism. She has a wall up and she doesn't want people to get close. So again, character growth. And, they
Mm-hmm.
start off at complete odds and like they just want to kill each other and they end up, best friends. So
Yeah.
it's good to watch that. There's so much happening, not just trying to solve the murders, but you're also, solve the murder or murders. Could be more than one. I don't know. Watch it,
Uh-huh.
find out,
Uh-huh.
and just see how everybody grows, like because of this. I mean, you think about it, 2,400 people, everybody. Everybody knows
Oh, big
everybody.
time.
Yeah, so that was my recommendation. What is your recommendation, Tara, for this episode?
Okay, so mine is Margin of Error by Rachel Lacey. I really enjoyed this one. It's funny you were talking about prologues earlier because there is a prologue for this one. The prologue is set in Manhattan. Charlotte is getting on, I guess it must be a bus because I don't think there's like an above ground rail situation in New York.
No, no.
And she ends up striking up a conversation with her seatmate, and they're talking about horoscopes and this just kind of, I don't know, something sort of clicking there. And somehow she ends up talking about, oh, yeah, you should go to my hometown in Vermont and whatever. And it's just this like great conversation. The woman gets off the bus and she's looking out the window at her. The woman looks back at her
Mm,
and is hit by a
no!
car. And so she like gets off the bus and goes and she's like holding her hand and like talking her through. An ambulance ends up coming and taking her away. It's this like deeply traumatic thing for Charlotte, of
Wow.
course, to see this. And then she reads in the news that a woman died.
No.
And so it picks up 2 years later. She's back in her hometown because she wants to solve the 30-year-old mystery of what happened with her mother because her mother just
Mm,
disappeared one day when she was about 10. She's 40 now. She's a real estate agent. She's trying to repair and build a relationship with her dad because they haven't really had, like, she just got the hell out of town when she was 18 and didn't look back. Her parents were both faculty at North Shore University, which, if the name sounds familiar, yes, this is set in this at the same
mm,
university as Learning Curve. So she goes to do a showing at a house one day, and guess what?
mm.
That other woman did not die that
No!
day in
It's
Manhattan.
her. Woo!
Her name is Marin. She basically, the accident completely shook up her life.
I
She left
bet.
her husband. Like, she and her husband have been married for over 20 years. She wasn't not particularly happily. She knew she was a
Mm,
lesbian all along, but just you just, that was just what you did. You went along, you married a guy. She's left this like job that, well, no, she, because it took so long to recover, like her job wasn't there in Manhattan anymore. She was used to like doing stats and all. So now she's teaching stats at the university and she's finally ready to date a woman for the first time.
nice.
Of course, because they both went through this like holy shit life-changing experience together, they just have this immediate bond. Like, yeah, there
Oh
was some
yeah.
kind of a connection there on the bus, but like it's just this like
Yeah.
instant absolute best friend situation. Marin comes out to her and she's like, "This is amazing. I'm so happy for you, Charlotte." She thinks she's straight until
Mm,
Marin starts to go on
mm.
dates. And then
Ah, we're jealous.
she's not as straight as she thought she would be. So yeah, that's them. That is kind of how they get together. So like I said, it's where Learning Curves was set. And so Michelle and Audrey do show up because Marin ends up volunteering with the, not called the queer club, but you know what I mean. whatever it is. Anyway, she becomes the Marin becomes the faculty sponsor of this, like maybe it's a gay straight alliance or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she bumps into Audrey, and then she becomes friends with them. And so
Oh, nice. Okay.
this one was really interesting because it's not one, it's like a two for the price of one. coming out at a later age story, except in one case, we have Marin, who's known for decades that she's a lesbian, and she's finally able to have the life that she's wanted to have. But in Charlotte's case, she's coming out to herself as being queer.
Oh,
Like she's
yeah.
still attracted to men, but it's kind of that. And with her, that was obviously that's the one that I identified with, because there was this
Right.
like moment as an adult going, oh, wait, oh, so that's what that and that and that and that all meant
Mm-hmm.
in my past. It's like you get to look at your life through totally different lens now. And I really appreciated getting to see that. And I think because we have these two different types of journeys with sort of a similar theme, I think it could be helpful to people who have found themselves
Hmm.
coming out later in life, you know, regardless of whether you're figuring yourself out or you've known and you just haven't been in a situation where you've been able to do something about it. And it was interesting and quite sweet because in that way too, it was also like when they finally get to the sex scene, it's the first time either of them has been with a woman. And I think there was something really special about that. I think
Yeah,
it was
that's
really,
sweet. Yeah.
yeah, like it was really lovely. And the other thing that I thought was great was it didn't get into example, like, you know how sometimes somebody will be reading a sapphic romance in a story and they'll mention like they'll name drop an author that they wrote about in a different book, or sometimes they'll like borrow a real life author's name. It didn't do any of that, but it did make it very clear that sapphic romance novels have been an absolute lifeline for Marin in getting to this
Oh,
point in her
nice.
life
Yeah.
and into staying connected with that part of herself. I will say this is a slow burn.
Mm.
Like it is a
Oh.
slow burn. And like the chemistry is there from the jump, right? Because like that
Right.
friendship chemistry is there, which is great. But also because Charlotte has to figure out that she's queer at all. I think it's paced well and in a way that makes sense. But I know that slow burn is one of those like some people love them and some people
Right.
cannot stand them. I
Right.
liked it. I liked it. I thought it worked for me. The other thing that I thought was interesting was seeing what happened here in terms of, I think the romance itself is relatively angst free. It's not like I didn't find it very angsty,
Hmm.
but there was still tension in the story that was driven from a couple of different places. And so for Marin, she knows, so her parent, Marin's 47, her parents are
Okay.
gone, but her siblings are all older than her and like quite a bit older than her. She
Oh.
was a surprise fourth, no,
Mm.
fifth. She was a surprise fifth
Oops,
baby.
baby.
Uh-huh. And so like her next oldest sibling, I forget how old it said he was. I think he was about 10 years older. And like her
Wow.
oldest is like 60s, probably. So she has to come out to all of them, or she wants to come out to all of them. And she's nervous about how that's going to go because she doesn't
Right.
know. And she does know that her oldest sister in particular is very conservative. And so there is some of that tension there about like, this is the story you've all known about me for the last 47 years. But actually, there's some new information that I want to
Mm.
share with you. And I can see how that would be something that's kind of scary, especially when like she's left her
Oh, yeah.
marriage. She's, you know, these are her people. And then on Charlotte's side, what's driving a lot of tension is this: what happened to her mother 30 years ago?
That's
Truly, it was
right.
like this woman just vanished off the face of the earth. And so we see her, you know, obviously talking to her dad, talking to some of her mom's colleagues at the former colleagues at the university, even tracking down her mom's old best friend. And along the way, it's this like, is she going to find her? Is she still alive? Is she not still alive? What happened? Could she be
Right.
somewhere else in
Yeah.
the world? What's going on? And she learned some really hard truths. And in the end, that also includes like, oh, how did that shape who she was as a person?
Do we find out what happens to her mom?
We do.
Okay.
We
I
definitely
just
do.
needed to know that.
And that, I mean, even that, like, we find out what happened to her mom, and then that also does some things that drives tension in the story as well, which I thought was really interesting. So I
Okay.
appreciated seeing, because there's been like there has been a bit of a conversation in the community around like, well, do we need angst? Do we not need angst? Do they all have to
Right.
be warm and fuzzy? Not necessarily. Like I wonder if I've probably praised too many books for being warm and fuzzy just because the world was shit on and off for many years.
Right. Like for the last,
Decades,
yeah.
sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But I think the question of the third act breakup has become kind of an interesting one because they still happen, but they don't necessarily happen as often. And so I appreciated in this story seeing how an author chose to navigate. Should there be a third act breakup? Yes or no? And if there's not going to be one per se,
no.
Well, how can we still maintain enough tension to keep a story interesting? Because that is still important, right? Like we still need there to be like a pace happening to bring us through the story. And so there's one other thing that I haven't mentioned.
But I kind of mentioned it.
There's a very important third character.
You didn't hear me. I whispered it
in this story.
And I didn't know about it. Look at me talking over
there
you.
Because it's not even in the blurb. And I think if it was in the blurb with the name, I would have lost it and been like, well, why am I reading anything else ever as soon as it came out? So Marin also has always wanted a puppy. And she's never been able to have one before. And so she adopts a puppy and her name is Ember. What?
I love it.
Of course I was sold because I have a dog named Ember. So reading this whole book, and I was like, I don't care how this is being described. I know how I imagine Ember looks in this book. She looks like mine.
Oh, see, so like when you mentioned the town, isn't it town? Yeah, I said, oh, Ember. It was the first thing I noticed.
In the other book, Ember Glen.
Yeah, that was in the other book. Oh,
but in this case,
that's so funny. How I just like
there's
weird.
A little puppy named Ember. I will say,
oh, I love
that puppy sure seemed to have fewer accidents than our puppy had.
Yeah.
When she was a baby. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say about Marin that was really interesting is because she was in the accident, and obviously it was very, very bad. Like the way she got hit by that car.
Yeah.
And like bad enough that it made sense to Charlotte that she would think that she was the one who died when it happened to be, somebody else. So in the book, we also see like she has been through a ton of physio, and also this woman is going to live with nerve pain for the rest of her life. And so seeing her negotiate this disability and how Charlotte supports her with that, I really loved it. I really, really loved it. I thought it was really well done. I had such a good time with this book. I think it took about a day and a half to read. Nice. I loved it. I had a great time. It was nice getting to revisit Audrey and Michelle, but really, like, this couple was so good. I hope it does have an epilogue. I enjoyed the epilogue, but also I would kind of love it if there were more books in the setting, because
I think there might be more books.
I hope so.
I'm just guessing, but
I hope so. But that is it. Margin of Error, which also I think is such a cute name for a book where one of the leads is a statistician. Adorable.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that is all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening to the episode. If you know somebody that you think would be interested in anything we've talked about today, please pass the link on to them. And if you want to support us, we have links in our show notes to our coffee.
Or if you want to connect with us on your favorite social media sites, we have links in the show notes for that as well. Or you can just search Queerly Recommended, or you can email us at podcast@queerlyrecommended.com. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.